Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's going on? So I wanted to talk about Gervonta Tank Davis, where I see him at in his career right now, his upcoming fight with Mario Barrios, and just the maturity, the progression of Gervonta Tank Davis. I truly believe that we are witnessing a Tank Davis right now where he's entering that prime, where his mental is starting to meet up with his physical abilities. When you listen to him in the interviews, the recent interviews that he's done on Fight Hype and with other platforms as well, man, in the press conference leading up to this Mario Barrios fight, his first fight at 140, he's fighting a legitimate threat, a legitimate, dangerous fighter in a division that he's never fought in. But if you listen to his interviews, man, you can just tell that there has been a switch flipped. You can tell that Tank is mentally more focused. He's more aware. He's self-aware and he's aware of what's going on around him. You could tell that he's more dialed in than he was in prior years. I really believe that Tank Davis has turned that corner to where he realized what's at stake. He realized his potential. He realized everything that he has in front of him. He understands that with his abilities, his fighting skills, his God-given natural talents, that if he really hones that, if he really takes it serious, man, he can go so far in this sport. I believe Tank Davis has one of the best teams in boxing from the promotional standpoint, from the matchmaking standpoint, and from the coaching standpoint. And then he got the pedigree as well. Like I said, he's, Floyd Money Mayweather. I mean, who's better that you can have in your ear when it comes to boxing or the business of boxing? Then being around guys like Adrian Broner, training wise, Earl the Truth Spence Jr., that's pedigree. Coming up around champions and, legendary names like Floyd, just getting that tutelage. And with Tank Davis, man, I love the way that he's being moved. Yeah, I would like to see him in there with, the top guy, got like the exciting fighters that we feel would maybe give him a challenge, like the Telefimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, Lomachenko. Now, a lot of these guys really don't want to fight Tank. Let's just be frank. A lot of these guys really don't want to fight Tank Davis. But, we would have loved to see Tank Davis versus Lomachenko. I think they'll take that fight right now. Will Lomachenko and them take that fight? I don't know. But I think that's definitely a fight that Mayweather, Leonard Ellerbe, and Tank Davis would be willing to make right now. It's a great fight. You know what I'm saying? But Tank Davis really is chasing greatness, and he's really, forming a well-rounded set of skills. His ability and his mental is meeting up, and I just think he's going to be on another level in this fight with Mario Barrios, and I think Tank Davis is going to put on a hell of a performance. This might be Tank Davis's best performance. You know what I'm saying? I think he's finally settling in at that, at 140 pounds, even though he mentioned that he would like to fight primarily at 130 and 135. He said if the fight is right, if it's a big money fight or a big name or, something where I can put on a huge pay-per-view type of event, and it just makes sense, then I'll go up to 140. And I think this Mario Barrios fight, this is one of those fights where you got an undefeated guy, a lot of knockouts, nice little following behind him. This is a fight that you can sell. It's action-packed. But, Tank Davis, he's building quite the foundation when you look at from the boxing and the business side to where he's just really trying to do some great things in the sport. And, I like the way he's being moved right now. After this fight, they got to try to go after a Lomachenko or, possibly a Teofimo Lopez, or maybe they can get Ryan Garcia in the ring. I really don't believe Ryan Garcia want anything to do with Tank Davis, to be honest. But I think that would be the next big type of event that Tank Davis would be looking to put on, because that's a fight that has some history. Floyd Mayweather offered Golden Boy money years ago to try to get Ryan Garcia in the ring. They said he wasn't ready. Ryan Garcia, before he came out with that lie about fighting Manny Pacquiao, he was supposed to be fighting Tank Davis, but turned out that both of those was a lie. He never did want to see Tank Davis. You dig what I'm saying? So, but that's a fans that's a fight that the fans really want to see. It's action packed. Both guys have power. Both guys get knockouts, and I don't see that fight going the distance at all. So, I think that's definitely a fight that you could sell on pay-per-view. And, it'll be a nice test for Tank Davis, just to put him up against a young, athletic guy. And it's definitely going to be a hell of a test for Ryan Garcia. So I think that might be something that they're looking to next. Now, we can't jump too far ahead because Mario Barrios is a very dangerous fighter. And, he ain't nothing to sneeze at. He ain't something that you could just look over. But I do believe that the way Tank Davis is looking right now in the gym, looking fast, sharp, incredibly focused. The way he looking right now, bro, I just believe this is going to be one of Tank Davis's best performances. I believe that they'll continue to, be particular when they matchmaking Tank. So you're going to get, great performances. You're going to get action-packed fights. But you're going to also get some really solid names. Like, look at Leo Santa Cruz. People like to shit on the Leo Santa Cruz victory, but Leo Santa Cruz was bigger than Tank. Then on top of that, he's a 4-division champion. 4 or 5 division champion. And he was a champion at the time that Tank beat him at 130. And he knocked him out in devastating fashion. He showed you he can adjust in that fight. Showed you that he can, mix it up and go to a different game plan if need be in order to get the victory. You know what I'm saying? You seen what he did to Pedraza, who was undefeated at the time. People give him shit about the Gamboa fight. Knocked him down, 5-6 times, then ultimately stopped him in the 12th. And if he go in there at 140, his first time fighting at 140, and he put on a dominant performance versus Mario Barrios, bruh, that shit ain't nothing to just sneeze at, bruh. Like, that ain't something that you could just, you can't shit on that. You gotta respect that, because it's a lot of guys that's fighting at 130 and at 135 right now. They can't just jump up and go straight to Mario Barrios and think they're gonna get a victory. He'll beat a lot of these dudes' ass. Facts. So we'll see how that fight turn out, man. But I just wanted to talk about the progression of Tank Davis, his mental, and he's really maturing and just becoming a complete fighter inside and out the ring. And I think that ain't going to do nothing but just make him an overall better boxer. It's going to make him more intelligent, more wise in the ring, better ring generalship, higher IQ. He already has a great boxing IQ, but you can tell that he's, with the patience and with his sharpness and his attention to detail, all of those things will show up in the ring when he gets in those tough situations, in those situations where he got to make adjustments, in those situations where he got to think his way, out of a situation, or try to find a way to control his opponent and, change the fight, do something different to give himself the edge in the fight. All those things, I believe, will show up in these big fights, because that's what you need to compete on the level that Tank Davis is at and where he's going to continue to go. Tank Davis is going to be a pay-per-view star. He already in that realm of being a pay-per-view star. He's going to continue to put on great fights, great pay-per-view showings against top-tier opponents. And it's going to get to the point to where, you know what I'm saying? Like Tank Davis really does have the ability and the potential to be the face of boxing. You know what I'm saying? And I see why Mayweather and LB, they moving him like they moving him, because they want to make sure that they max out his potential and cultivate him to be the very best and the most complete that he can possibly be. So when he do get to that big stage, he's ready for everything. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that he gonna see that's gonna surprise him. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that he gonna see that's gonna throw him off his game or make him feel uncomfortable. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know, man, I'm excited to see what comes next for Tank Davis. I'm excited for this fight, June 26th. It's going to be in Atlanta. Got a great undercard with Erickson Lubin versus Jason Rosario. It's probably going to be one of the best cards that you see this year in the sport of boxing. So, y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Have y'all been noticing the maturation process of Tank? Just listening to him speak, look at his last couple of performances, especially with the Leo Santa Cruz performance, and just look at, if you've been watching training videos and just watching how sharp he is, man, it's a beautiful thing to see. That brother right there got real skill and real ability. And now that mental is meeting up with that skill and that ability. And that's a dangerous thing for anybody that step in the ring with Tank Davis. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Contender regime boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.